There are a few times when you will need to approach a climber on the wall to call them down from their attempt because they broke a rule. Here are the most common examples. Climbers cannot make any tick marks on the holds, volumes, or wall. This is an infraction, and the judge should charge an attempt against the climber. If the climber does make a tick mark, they must brush off the tick mark using the brushes provided by the competition, not with their own brushes. The only exception to this is that climbers are allowed to chalk up the start holds. Climbers are allowed to brush any holds that they can reach. They are not allowed to jump to brush a hold. If a climber were to jump to brush a hold and both feet left the ground, it would be considered an infraction. It is the judge's discretion whether to issue a warning or charge the climber with an attempt. Black tape restricts the climbing area. Climbers are allowed to flag body parts across the black tape, but they cannot touch the wall or holds on the other side of the black tape. If a climber touches the wall or hold on the other side of the black tape, they must be called down immediately. If they secured the zone hold prior to crossing the black tape, they're still awarded that score. Climbers are not allowed to use any holes or T-nuts provided for the placement of holds. They are, however, allowed to use the bolt hole in the hold itself. Climbers are not allowed to grab any unfinished edges, such as the top of the boulder wall, but they are allowed to use the edges of volumes. If any part of the climber touches the ground during their attempt, even if they just graze the ground, they must be called off the wall. During a 5-on, 5-off format, or in finals, if time expires while a climber is on the wall, they must come down from the wall immediately. If they have secured the zone hold before time expires, they should be awarded that score. Usually, if a climber is on the wall when time expires during a modified scramble format, they are allowed to complete their attempt. The jury president will make this announcement in the closing few minutes of the round. If a climber is actively bleeding during their climbing time, they cannot be allowed to climb. Climbers will typically try to control the bleeding by taping the wound. It is best to involve the jury president, as they will typically make the decision as to whether the climber can continue with their climbing round or if they need further medical attention.